And Mike, you never get a chance to talk. So even though you're wearing a funny hat and you and
is he wearing a sweater? Please tell me he's wearing a sweater.
Not wearing a sweater. No, he's not wearing a sweater.
The only thing funny is that nobody else is wearing the hat.
That's his chest hair.
Yeah. That's my chest hair. We don't see my big foot.
So, Mike, what do you think? Like, you're in the marketing side of things.
Yeah,
that's where trust is built.
Yeah. I heard it tonight. I heard it again tonight. There's something that's been over 2 decades called reputation management. 10 years ago, we came out with reputation marketing. And every time I talk about it, there's always one person that says, no, Mike, you mean reputation management. No, I mean reputation marketing, because you don't gain and earn any money off of managing anything. You make money marketing. So when people go and they go to a particular word of mouth, they heard about a dealer that their neighbor bought a car from, and they go into Google and type in that, the first thing they're hit with is the reviews. And if you're not marketing your reviews off of Google, your 5-star reviews, what are you doing? If you're not responding to those reviews, even the bad ones, then a person's looking at that going, they didn't even say thank you to a 5-star review. You know what? That tells me what kind of person or business this is. You need to deal with a reputable kind of business, and that is shown by the value, the reason, and the call to action. And if there's not any of those there, why even bother being in business? Because you're not going to gain the trust of somebody walking on your lot when you skip all of those. So, some will, some won't. So what? And I move on.
Mike, quick question on that point. Do you, when you get a bad review, all right, let's say it's something that you could actually have a pretty good rebuttal on, customer's completely wrong.
When you say rebuttal, what do you mean?
All right, so we had a client one time, and this is actually one of my, I'm going to hate to say this, and I want to regret saying this, but one of my favorite reviews that we've ever had, because I totally responded to it in a manner that was petty. Ag T. Guy writes into our service department talking about the quote he was given because the quote was so expensive. The quote was expensive for the reason in which he had aftermarket rims on the car. The aftermarket rims were bigger size than what the car required on the car. It's not a big deal. Who doesn't do that? Many people do. But he didn't have spacers on them, and the rims were scraping the calipers. Safety issue. Big safety issue. So he wanted us to fix it. Well, he was complaining also about a slow leak. Well, we found out his rim was cracked. So we're a Mercedes-Benz store, so we can only fix it with Mercedes-Benz parts. We quoted him 4 new rims, 4 new tires, because that's what we can do. And told him about the issue with the cracked rim and also some other things. And he went livid about it online. And I mean, his review was like a page long, and I actually have a copy of it somewhere because I want to frame it and write it up. My reply was so eloquent back to him, and it was saying, like, you presented with us an issue of a tire with a slow leak. We found out your rim was cracked. Upon inspecting your car, you have aftermarket rims, which are not OEM equipment. Therefore, the only thing we can do is quote you new factory equipment. You can't put 1 rim on, so you got to put 4. So here's the quote for all 4. And I was like, I'm sorry that our concern for your safety in reference to the calipers was causing you this much pain and dissatisfaction. You had to go and write this post. It's that simple, and I got kind of applauded for it in several ways, but
you did
it's a catch-22. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Well, you're damned if you don't, because other people are reading his rant, and when you don't respond, they say, you know what? They just ignored this guy. When you say, hey, my bad, we're all human, and we want to fix this in the best way possible for you. Please get back in touch with us and let us know one-on-one what we can do to remedy this solution. So you're taking responsibility even though it's not your fault, and to say, hey, we want to make it right with you. How do we move on? And we absolutely say we're sorry for this, and you admit that we all are human, but you admit that. And it's not for the person that wrote the review that you're writing the response for. Mm-hmm. It's for the thousands of people that are going to read your response and then either earn their business or not.
I mean, for me personally, I like to read responses like that to the negative ones, and I don't mean this in a harmful way or anything like that. But when I see a company that's willing to stand on their decision and stand on it, be like, okay, no, F you. We're right on this. Okay, you're wrong. This is BS what you're doing. Like, I'll give you my money. And that's kind of where my mindset was at, because I'm not going to let somebody push us over something that we potentially saved his life, could have saved his life, and others around him by telling him this car is unsafe to drive. You are driving a car with a cracked rim, and this is how to fix it. It's up to you if you choose not to. That makes you the a-hole because you didn't want to get it fixed. That's how I looked at it.
No, I mean, but to respond, and you're right to respond. To not I don't know. I haven't looked in a while, but last year there was a wide whale, bunch of data, and Peter and I were going over it. How many of all the dealerships? How many don't respond?
Oh. It's 25% of dealers do not respond to replies. Period. They do not respond.
Yeah, 30% don't respond to leads.
Yeah. So